here from Scuderia Audio, and today we're going to go over an install of one of the late model Coupe speaker boxes. Now, although the donor car is a Modena, these instructions will work with the 360 Coupe, a 430 Coupe, a Scuderia, or a Challenge Stradale. They're all basically the same central chassis design. In fact, even if you're planning on installing one of the OEM speaker boxes, the instructions are the same because the mounting points are the same. So, let's go check it out. Okay, we get our 3mm Allen wrench and remove the 2 machine screws holding the cover. Then we get our 13mm socket and remove the bracket. Then we take our same 3mm Allen and remove the 2 machine screws holding the cargo net in place. And once those are out, the net lifts straight up and out. Then we remove this top trim piece. You just basically get your fingers underneath there and pull. You'll hear pop, pop, pop. And then it comes right out. Removing the carpet is really easy. Just try to get underneath it near the center and start gently pulling it out. And it'll work its way out from the sides. Okay, now of course my car already has the stainless bracket, but just for the purpose of this video, just pretend that that's not there. So you just start systematically removing all of these 10mm machine screws, and once we remove the last of the machine screws, the panel basically comes right out. Okay. Now, this sound deadening material on yours is going to stretch all the way across. Okay? So you just want to get a utility knife and just cut a piece out that exposes this center groove area. Okay, just be careful, take your time. You might have to just, do it a few times until you get all the way through. But it's pretty straightforward. You'll just peel it out of there and then get a chisel and just kind of, clean up the area. Okay, now this stainless bracket that came with the kit, you'll see that it just drops right in here and just fits perfectly. So what you need to do is you need to drill 2 holes in order to mount this thing securely to the engine access panel. So what you can actually do is get a 3/16" drill bit And you can actually use the bracket as a guide. So we just you can drill your pilot holes. Then you take the bracket out, and they get a slightly larger drill bit, 1/4 inch or so, and then you can make your 2 existing holes a bit larger. Now we put the bracket back, and we need to secure it from behind. So we take the 10mm machine screws with the split washers provided in the kit. Then we tighten them down with the 10mm socket. Nice and snug. And the bracket's ready. Then we bring the panel back in. And start bolting it up. Okay. Once you're done tightening all of the machine screws for the engine access cover, then you want to take your 2 metric threaded rods that came with your kit and screw them into the 2 remaining holes in the stainless mounting bracket until they basically bottom out. Then you want to get your tape measure and just measure from the bottom of the floor up, let's see, it looks like 3 3/16 and 8.5, right on the money. So of course your car may vary a little, so just write down those 2 measurements. Now I've already done this with my carpet, but you just start right here where that crease is, where that little crease is on the bottom, because that's where it meets the carpet that's on the floor. And then you just put a mark at the 2 points you just measured, and then using this slot as a guide right up the center, just cut 2 1 inch, 1.5 inch or so slots in the carpet. Then you bring your piece of carpet back in the car, center it, then make sure that you slide the top parts and the side parts in first. It's a little tricky, so just be patient and work with it, and in a few minutes you'll have it in. There we go. There's one side. Perfect. You notice how the studs go right through the slots, and tuck the other side in. Okay, so since these things are basically flying out my door as fast as I can build them, the only one I have for the 360 Coupe that's not in my display case is one that I'm finishing up for a customer in the UK. It doesn't have leather on it yet, but it's the exact same principle. Don't forget to hook up your speaker wires. Come out right here through the bottom. And then the two mounting holes, just line them up. And slide the speaker box right in there. Now, this is difficult to film because it's difficult to see the threaded stud, but the kit basically comes with two of the large rubber fender washers, two of the smaller steel fender washers, and then a couple of lock washers and 10mm nuts. So you take the large rubber fender washer and you slide it over the threaded stud. That'll seal the slightly larger mounting hole in the back of the enclosure. Then you slide the steel lock washer thread the nut all the way back. Then cinch down with the 10mm metric. Now, the one up here is behind, so you'll need a 10mm either open end or box end wrench. You can just slide it over and tighten it, and then, I mean, it's not coming out of there. Grab your top trim piece. Okay, now we grab our subwoofer, put it in place. Now, when I designed this system, I made sure that the two holes in the back of the speaker box were the same size, diameter, and location as the two holes in the back of the OEM speaker box. So, if you are trying to install an OEM speaker box, then the same exact instructions apply. Finish cinching up the... Now remember, when you're tightening these Allens up, try not to put too much downward pressure into the box, because although I make every effort to super secure the T-nuts that are on the other side, if you put too much pressure downward, there's a chance that you might pop one of those out of there. And then you'll have to take the speaker box out and then re-secure it. So just make sure that you just put lateral force with your Allen wrench. There's no reason to jam it down in there. And voila! Even without the leather, I must say it looks pretty sharp.